So Donald Trump literally told the Supreme Court to fuck off. The Trump administration detained a guy out of Maryland called Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Kilmar Garcia came here illegally in 2011 and he was denied asylum. But in 2019, a judge said we cannot send him back to El Salvador because there's a local gang there that is aiming to persecute him. That's a fancy way to say that if we send him back there, they're going to fucking kill him. So he was allowed to stay in the United States. Well, the Trump administration rolled him up with a bunch of other people that they sent to that massive prison in El Salvador. You know, the prison which is a blatant and egregious violation of human rights. That prison. And the Trump administration claims that the people that were sent there were members of the gang Tren de Aragua. However, the administration has provided zero evidence of this, and in a blatant violation of the Constitution, none of these people were allowed to present their case, nor have evidence presented against them. You know, that's called due process of law. Well, none of these people got it. So all 100 of the people that were sent to this prison were sent there in violation of our Constitution, not given due process of law, and the administration has provided no evidence that they're actually part of any gang. Kilmar Garcia is definitely not part of a gang, and a federal judge declared that the United States is supposed to bring him back. But the wording that the federal judge used in the order was ambiguous, so the Supreme Court clarified it, and the Supreme Court said that the United States will facilitate the return of Kilmar Garcia. Well, now the Trump administration is saying, well, facilitate means that you're asking us to tell El Salvador to give him back, and El Salvador is a sovereign nation. You can't make us engage in diplomacy with the sovereign nation. That's above the federal court's authority. This cannot fucking be real life. But it is, in fact, the fuck games that the Trump administration is playing. Please understand, if we are at a junction where the Supreme Court makes a ruling and the executive branch says, nah, I don't fucking think so, then the Constitution is null and void. This is officially a constitutional crisis. And what I mean by constitutional crisis is the Constitution doesn't fucking matter anymore. We now have a singular man who considers himself the only law of the land. That's called an autocrat, an authoritarian, a dictator. And checks and balances have been checked and balanced out the back door. Now, if you defend the Trump administration's actions, you're a bootlicking fascist who never believed in the Constitution to begin with. However, if you're an actual patriot who thinks that there needs to be law, order, checks, balances, then we need to all be screaming at the top of our lungs that the Trump administration cannot get away with this. And if they are allowed to, America has officially ended.